Hey guys, Karen Butler here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about narcissistic abuse and what that looks like with no contact. No contact is extremely important during your separation from a narcissistic abusive person. And the reason this is extremely important is you have to value yourself. You have been manipulated, you have been deceived, you have been downright done wrong and drug in the mud emotionally. No contact is not to hurt the other person. No contact is exclusively for you. No contact is a time for you to heal yourself. It is a time for you to really dive deep in what occurred in this relationship, what got you in this relationship, what took you so long to leave this relationship, and how you accepted the emotional abuse that came along with this relationship. Now, let me tell you how to do no contact. No contact means no contact. You're going to be emotionally distraught. You're going to be turned around and maybe not even know which way to go. You're going to want to reach out. It's going to burn deep in your soul. But for the sake of your sanity, you have got to go no contact. There is no other way around it. The moment you let yourself go back into that poison atmosphere, that poison energy, it automatically pulls your energy. It automatically dismantles everything you have been building in your own self to get over this situation with. A lot of times, if you break your no contact, your narcissist will try to hurt you. Now, here's the deal with the narcissist. They don't come out and just attack you. They just do subtle little things that they know will just wreck your core. They may allow you to no contact come by the house, and then they have one of their many, many mistresses. One of them just happened to be pulling off at the time you pull up, and they knew you were coming. And this creates an emotional rage in you, and you just go off the handle, and you just lose it. And it's a continued mechanism for abuse. This is what I call abuse from afar. So they're still abusing you, even though you've left the house, but they're not abusing you like they were, but they're still kind of abusing you. They still want to stick it to you. The best thing for you to do is to go no contact. And I say this so much. Remove your narcissist from your phone. Do not, block them. Do not accept any phone calls, any messages, take them off social media. Block him completely. Do not go back. If you have to go back, because sometimes you've been married to narcissists for years and you have legal issues, you may have a business with a narcissist, you may have children with narcissists. If you have to go back, I'm going to show you 3 steps in which you can go back without actually, breaking your no contact. Number 1, once you have blocked that person from your phone, if you have to keep your sentences, keep your phrases very short and send it in a text. And then the moment you send it in a text, when you get your answer, block him again. Do not allow him in your atmosphere. You have created this new atmosphere for yourself. You have done self-work. I hope you've done self-work. Self-work is so important. You have to do self-work because you have to ask those hard questions for yourself. You have to ask, how did I get myself in this situation? You have to ask, why did I stay so long? And you have to also ask, what is missing within myself that caused me to even be in a relationship? What am I missing? Is it abandonment? Is it self-love issues? So you need to take this time, definitely not in getting in another relationship. You've got to take this time to work on yourself. You've got to take this time to dig deep, ask yourself those hard questions, look yourself dead square in the mirror, and ask yourself, what was it that caused you to be involved with a person that had no emotional value, no self-love, no interest in you whatsoever? They suck you bone dry, and you stayed and you allowed it to happen. So these are hard questions that you're going to have to start asking yourself. Now, let's get back to no contact. The second way to deal with the narcissist with no contact, and I love certain things that once you learned and once you found videos and once you found the information that you were actually dealing with a narcissist and your mouth was wide open like, oh, but at the same time, so many of your questions was answered, and it just shined a light on everything in your whole relationship that you was missing or you were looking for. That moment, you begin to research and study like you're doing now with these videos. When you begin to research and study, you found a mechanism called triangulation. This is what a narcissist does. They'll bring in a third person to either make you feel insufficient, make you feel invalid, make you just feel horrible. Well, like this particular person, well, I don't want to say my because that claims ownership, but the narc I knew. The narc I knew used to triangulate my girlfriends all the time. And he would compare something they did with something that I wasn't doing. And this form of comparison or bringing that third person in is called triangulation. And now that me and my girlfriend sit back and just ponder on the experience, we can see it was happening a long time and in different many ways. These people are very calculated, very manipulative, and very deceiving. That's why you were deceived and manipulated so long. But at the same time, you knew within your heart something wasn't right. You knew within your heart you deserved better. You knew within your heart that this person really didn't love you. But you were so desperate and you wanted to hang on and just make it work. And those are kudos that go to you for being that awesome type person. But the one thing that the narc can't take from you is your awesomeness. You are an amazing individual. That's why they chose you. Now, back to this third thing I called triangulation that was the narcs use. I turned the triangulation around and I used triangulation. Yes, I did. I used triangulation on the narc that I knew. What I did was when it was time, after I left, it was time for divorce papers, business papers, anything of importance that you need to not break that no contact with and deal with that narcissist, you bring in a third party, particularly a male if you're dealing with a male. This can be your minister. This can be an uncle, a brother, a son. You allow contact between that third person to go to the narc. So if you have papers for him to sign, take it to his minister. Now, why wouldn't he sign those papers in front of his minister? Because you remember, he's keeping that atmosphere and he wants everybody to think he's just this well-rounded, good-hearted, beautiful individual that's just peace, love, and just, over charitable. But we know that's not true. But that's the image that narcissists play, especially if they're covert narcissists. And there's a difference we'll talk about later. But triangulation, use some of the narcissist tricks on them because you do not want to break contact. Listen to me. It is imperative for your own sanity. It has nothing to do with him. This is all about you. No contact has nothing to do with him. You're not trying to punish him. You're not trying to make him reach out to you. This is you putting up your force shield around you, a force shield of protection. You have got to protect yourself, your emotionals, your dignity, and your inner being at this point. So no contact would diminish that. Now, I want to talk briefly about when you have small children and you want to go no contact, because that's been kind of confusing for a lot of people. And the issue has been the children suffer. Well, from experience, let me tell you, you have to remember what type of relationship that you just come out of. It was gutter, it was foul, and it was an awful, it was just smitten with evil. When you look at the subsurface of what really occurred, do you want your children involved in that? Do you want the emotional abuse, the psychological trauma to affect your children? Because you know it's there. You know it's there. Here's the deal. Narcissists don't really have emotions. They don't have any of that. They could care less. Everything is a game to them. Everything is manipulation to them. Even, guess what? To the children. Narcs will use your children as manipulations to break the no contact, to find out what you're doing, to get information on you. It is imperative. No contact means no contact. If he wants to see those children that bad, let him fight it out in court. Let him fight you for custody for them. And then most of all, if he does get custodial rights to your children, triangulate. You never have to see them. Teach your children how to keep your business that happens in your home, because children will talk. You know, that's dad, or that's granddad, or that's, it's family. So that, they'll talk and share information, but it's up to you to make sure that you remain protected. And you have to protect yourself. And you have to protect your children. And I know this is harsh, especially if you've had children with a narcissist, but you're dealing with a psychological and a mental disorder. It's not going to get better. It's not going to change. There's no magic pill that they can take that makes them a better person. If they've manipulated you, they're going to manipulate the children. If they manipulated and just basically deceived you, they're going to deceive the children. So you have to really ask yourself this question. Do I want my children to be around that? Of course, they're going to ask, where's daddy? They're going to go through withdrawal symptoms just like you. They're addicted to dad because you're addicted to dad. The same manipulations and tricks he played on you, guess what? He played them on the children too. So they're going to have to go through this whole thing too. They're going to have withdrawal symptoms. But I promise you, after a couple of weeks, children are resilient. They will be okay. They will be fine. But as a mother, your number one goal is to protect your babies at any cost and at all costs. So until you go to court, it is your responsibility to take care of your baby. That's physical, that's mentally, and that's emotionally. So I hope this video has helped you